Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Good morning.
Good morning and happy Wednesday.
I thought you were going to be like, Happy New Year. I was like,
I think it's a little late to say that now.
I mean, you know what? It is never too late to say Happy New Year. It could be somebody's personal New Year. Okay, that's a weird thing.
That's true. So,
we are just starting off. So sorry guys for being a few minutes late, but here we are. Hopefully, you're joining us live. It's been a busy week.
Crazy weekend, especially for you. You've been traveling a lot.
Yeah, I've been traveling a lot. I got some more things coming up. I'll share maybe in a little bit. But for you too, I feel like it's been busy for you. Wait, hold on. So, by the way, while we're having this conversation, wherever you're joining us from, let us know where you're joining us from. Jeremy, I'm looking at you.
Where are you, Jeremy?
Anybody else? Let us know where you're joining us from. But Steve, talk to us about what the weekend and maybe the start of this week has been like. What's been going on with F1 in Miami?
Ooh, it was fun. Well, first, I just want to say I loved doing our show live last week.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun, and we got to hang out like the whole day. I wish I could have stayed even longer with you and gone into Brickell and all the fun things you were doing in my town. So I think we're getting Sarah slowly converted to coming to
Okay,
Miami.
all right. I will just say this for the record. I never had like really strong feelings about Miami. And in the past year, I've come several times and it is growing on me. There is an energy to that city, and I will be the first to admit it. There is an energy to that city that is very electric and exciting, especially right now, especially compared to how the energy feels in Los Angeles. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of Los Angeles, obviously, but there's a spark that's going on in Miami right now, and it's hot in a good way. I think in a really exciting way.
Clip this one. We're going to send that to the tourism board here in Miami.
Hey there, visit Miami. You got a girl.
Yeah, so I had fun with you. We got to do our hotel video together, which is one of the most watched. So people like seeing us even in, walking around hotels. So, hey, maybe we got to give them some more of those.
We probably do.
And most exciting is that the F1 race was awesome. So F1 was a lot of fun. I got to go for the first time. I'd been wanting to go the first 2 years. So the F1 Miami Grand Prix, for those viewers, it's in its third year. It was the most watched on TV of all F1 races.
Really?
Here in Miami. And I got to tell you, being there in person, it's 275,000 people in attendance. Wow. All these restaurants that are like the top restaurant brands giving their top effort for everyone that's visiting. And every celebrity you can think of is there. It was just like, you talk about electric energy, that's what that place is. And so it's one of my top events now, because not only is it happening at the stadium, it's happening in the hotels, it's happening at the restaurants, it's happening in the public parks. They're doing viewings. It's like, it takes over the whole city, and I can see why. It's a fun event.
Okay, wait. I'm going to show how much I know about F1, which is okay. I know a lot about a lot, and I'm also very comfortable knowing what I don't know. F1. So does it come every year now?
So now it comes every year, where I think it's like on a 10-year contract. But if you haven't watched, and for viewers who haven't watched, there's a Netflix show that I think got everyone in the United States onto it. That's why they started coming here, because no one really knew about it. It was more European.
Yeah, I mean, I knew about it from Europe because
but you learn the story of all these drivers, because there's only 24 of them in the whole world that qualify to be on the F1 race.
I don't think I even knew that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
From the whole world, that's all that's available. And they're always changing racers to see who's the best racers to be on these teams. So each, like Mercedes has a team, and Ferrari and Alfa Romeo, and Red Bull has theirs. And it's a fun thing to see. So they're all like, everyone has their team that they cheer for. And there's all different kind of things going on. It was incredible. I really had a great time.
Awesome.
But races are bananas, though. That's the one thing.
Oh, sure.
You might have seen like showing up. Like, that's why I didn't go the first couple of years. This year I got invited. I can't spend the $3,000 on a ticket to go.
But somebody else can pay for that. That's okay. So then that's why we'll probably be getting it back in Vegas then, right?
Oh yeah, you'll have it in Vegas. I think it's like 5 to 10 year contracts, but Vegas Like I was
Now
curious
it
to
makes
see. I
sense.
want to do a little research once the stats come out, like how it compares to the Super Bowl, how many
Oh,
people it actually
yeah.
drives into the city. It's really interesting. Hey, Lonnie, good to
Oh,
see you. Welcome
good
to the
morning,
house.
Lonnie, in the
Hey,
house.
good to
We
see
got
you.
Kay Frederick, who is not in Miami. She's in Pennsylvania, but she was sharing that love for Miami.
I did see Kay. I don't know how I saw it, but you're selling Acuras. So if you're up there,
Yeah.
where is she at selling
Yeah,
Acuras?
yes, if anybody is in I love that. If anybody is in the market for an Acura and you are in Eastern Pennsylvania or close to Eastern Pennsylvania, you could be in New Jersey, Delaware, etc., because it's not too far of a drive. You can go ahead, speak to Kay Frederick. She'll make sure that you get a
You
good
drive. What can I put you in today?
Yeah,
I like that.
exactly. She's
Well,
great,
yeah,
super
so it was
honest.
a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun these last couple of weeks. Been
Yeah.
traveling. I've been going to some great events, and I feel lucky, right? We get to do all these cool things that go on.
We have been very lucky. Uh, I have still a couple more fantastic trips coming up. I'll be in Key West next week. We'll try and share a little bit more as we get closer to the time. And maybe hopefully do a live from there, but we'll see. And then at the end of the month, I'll be going to St. John, so part of the St. Thomas St. John U.S.
Yep.
Virgin Islands.
Mhm.
There is a property. There's a thing that's called Taste of Lovango.
Ooh,
So it's basically like a beautiful, stunning property, and they've got all of these chefs coming in. So I am ecstatic for that. That's going to be so awesome.
I'm a big fan of St. Thomas. I like going there.
I don't know if I've ever been.
I like it.
So
Cool island.
yeah, yeah, super exciting. Anyway, so that's a little bit about what's going on. Stay tuned. Watch this space, as the kids
Mhm.
say, or as I say.
Oh my gosh.
You're welcome. By the way, nothing makes me laugh more than when I say something ridiculous and you're just like, oh, how did I get here? I could literally see you playing the loop in your mind of like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
How am I
What's
sharing
happening
a
here today?
screen with this girl?
What did she drink this morning?
Well, we all know. Brought to you by Alani. They do actually send me products, so that's nice, but this was not a sponsored post. Anyway, oh yeah, Lonnie Wolf saying St. Thomas is a magical island.
It is. It's a
Mm.
great spot. I enjoy it. I've been twice now, and I want to go back and just stay there because I go on cruises when I'm there. So
Oh
I
yeah,
hang out
yeah.
for the
You just
day.
get
Like
it.
I want to like hang out. Like it's a good appetizer. I need to hang out on the island. So let me know what you think.
Yeah, I will.
Maybe
I
should stay
will. Well, why don't we go ahead and get started on our topics? We got some great ones today. The first one being AAA. AAA, as we all know, they are the ones responsible for the 4 and the 5 stars.
there.
And They have gone out and
Diamonds,
they've
diamonds.
diamonds. Sorry,
See, now we
diamonds.
got
Okay,
diamonds. Now we got stars. Now
woo,
we got
woo.
keys. So
My
AAA,
bad. As I said that,
diamonds.
mobile does stars. Thank you.
Hold
As
on.
I said it,
Forbes, stars. Okay.
I
Mobile,
just
diamonds. Let me get you back on track. Michelin, keys. Hospitality mentor. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but something for all these hotels we're going to.
thank you so much. Thank you. Get me back on
Back
track.
on track.
Woo! Okay, we got them diamonds. Okay, so shine bright like
In
a diamond.
I'm taking over this one. In April, several
Yeah.
properties earned the prestigious AAA 5 Diamond designation, the highest rating for offering ultimate luxury and leading cuisine. And so we got a lot of great things that were happening there. Was there anything that stood out to you on those ratings
Oh, for the restaurants
or hotels that they were
or
giving
the
out?
hotels. Well, so it's interesting. Some of the restaurants, obviously in hotels. I love that Emeril is still on the scene. By the way,
Yeah, in New
Emeril's
Orleans.
in New Orleans definitely was really great.
Bam.
And then I have to do a shout out as far as like the hotels. Margaritaville Island Reserve Cap Cana. Their
Mhm.
restaurant Wave. Um, like that's so or sorry, it's part of their property, and I've been there, and that's so awesome.
Yeah, they got
Um,
stars. And then Mandarin Oriental, where I stayed a couple times, just got
yeah.
their 5 diamonds. So it's really interesting to
Mhm.
see kind of the mix. It's not all like the main hitters you would see from
No.
Forbes. It's a nice mix of different restaurants and hotels on here. So
Raffles Boston, which is cool.
so when you're looking, what are you looking at? Are you looking for stars? Are you looking for diamonds? Are you looking for keys
Oh,
now? All
me?
three? Yeah, because now we've got a lot to look at. What should people be looking for, you think?
Okay, well, if you're talking about me personally, I
Yes.
actually don't look for that. I look for unique experiences that are just like wow, cool, has something just like a little fun and unique. So, for example, when I was in Cabo and stayed at the Hotel Algonzo, I mean, that property doesn't have that many rooms. I mean, it's, we're talking about like a handful, like 56 or something like that. Okay. To give you an idea for size.
Yep.
But like with artwork everywhere and like they have a recording studio. And still, I actually think those are the most comfortable beds I've ever slept in my life. So that to me was such a fun experience. Now for my clients,
Yeah, so
or
let me rewind this. I'm gonna ask it a different way. So someone like me, I'm busy, father of two, multiple companies. How do I go find one of these cool? Like I wouldn't know to go search for El Gonzo. How am I looking for that place?
oh, you should be reaching out to people in the know, whether it's you
I've
have
got
a
you.
travel whether you have a travel advisor or somebody like, but you can also check out, I mean, because there are all of these lists that are out there. I think for some places, like some of the smaller places that might not reach the listings on like AAA or Michelin, Forbes, etc. Um, that I think you'd have to actually look to some place like a TripAdvisor or something like that. But that's how you would kind of go off the beaten path. But obviously, it's always a great, you know what you're gonna get if something has a diamond, has like a 4 or 5 diamond rating. You know what you're gonna get if they have a 4 or 5 star rating or keys. Like, that's super unique. I actually might probably lean more towards the Michelin keys just because it is so different.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're, I think, a key person. That's what I'm gonna say. You're a key
Yeah,
person.
I'm a key person. Well,
I think I'm leaning more that way as I get
I'm like,
older. I like
yeah,
the Forbes stars.
yeah.
I worked so hard to get them so many times, so
It's
I know like
same,
you too.
same.
But like 4 diamond was always kind of like the diamonds from AAA was always kind of like, oh, that's easier to get. So it's kind of
Totally.
like hanging out there, but nothing. It's still good, still great properties, and
By the way, can we just put out there that hopefully next year you and I will both be at the Forbes event? I think it's actually going to be in Monaco, so it's a little bit of a trek,
okay.
worthwhile trek. Okay, but the reason why I'm saying that we should both be at the Forbes event is we actually had we rolled up our sleeves and we were in the trenches with our
Yes.
teams, making sure that our teams got those 5 stars. So, on behalf of that and our respective background, I think that we should be there.
I think so too. Get us a trip out there. I'm down. Gotta get my
I'm working.
passport renewed. It's on the way.
Oh my gosh. I hope you like your photo. Anyway, so but that's exciting. So exciting news in the world of AAA. Now, this is an interesting article that I'm curious to hear what you have to think. So there was a major antitrust suit that happened actually in the San Francisco Bay Area that is basically alleging that 6 hotel chains have colluded to fix prices. Did you do a deeper dive into this particular article? Because it's
I did, and of all people, my dad sent this to me. He's like, "Look at
stop.
this interesting lawsuit.
Oh
Have you heard
wow.
of ideas?" And so I have heard of ideas. And if you're a revenue manager out there, if you're a hotel manager or general manager, you've definitely used ideas. And this tool really
Hmm.
shows you how you're competing against your comp set. Right? It won't
Yeah.
show you exactly which hotel is pricing what, but you have a comp set, you know who's in that comp set, and it shows you prices. And so you compete against those prices. And so
Hmm.
everyone knows what everyone is charging without seeing that name attached to the price. And so everyone is now saying, hey, you all are working together to keep these prices super high in these
Yeah.
markets because no one's dropping down. The competition isn't fair because you all know the prices and you're all pushing it. And this AI tool that you're using is a revenue management tool. It's a pricing tool. We use it in vacation rental worlds, a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
one
yeah,
from
of
us
course.
too. But I could see why somebody might sue them. So it's going to be interesting to see because the suit targets Wyndham, Four Seasons, Omni, Hyatt, Choice,
Yep.
a bunch of big brands that you're going to
Yeah.
see fighting against this because that's how they maximize their revenue. So it will be interesting to see. But what do you think? Do you think it's fair? Would you rather like hotels really compete hard against each other and drop rates? Because it's a whole thing that goes on, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a whole thing that goes on. I mean, you have to stay competitive. It has to be reasonable. It has to make sense. What they were also trying to say is they were kind of like explaining that obviously because of the software, it's the algorithm, and we're just following what the algorithm suggests is kind of like what they're saying. And then they were going back and pushing back and saying, yeah, but if you keep just letting the algorithm dictate, it's just going to get worse over time. So that's kind of like the big pushback on it, right?
Yeah, I think we'll put this in the comment section because it's a whole thing that I would think people should read if you're interested in learning more about it. But look, I've been in rooms where I won't say which hotels where people drop the rates, and the revenue manager calls the other revenue manager at that house, says, "What are you doing? You're dropping the rates. You're going to ruin the whole market, right? Like you're going to get everyone to drop, right? Because a lot of these people, we all worked in hotels together at different times. So sometimes you're friendly, sometimes you're competitive with those hotels. A lot of times you're competitive because you want your fair share of that market. And ideas really helps you get there because it all comes down to presenting the STAR report.
Yeah.
If you don't know the STAR report, that's what your owner's looking at. Like, how did we do compared to the comp set? Did we get enough business? Why are you not getting our fair share plus more? How are we going to get there? So ultra competitive out there.
Very and understandably so. I mean, everybody's just trying to get heads in beds and trying to do it.
As a consumer, I understand when you're trying to come to a major city and you see all the hotels are not lower than a certain rate. This might be why.
Yeah. Well, there also has to be a starting point too. So interesting stuff. Thank you for sharing that article because that was definitely really, really interesting. And even though this is talking specifically about the Bay Area, can certainly apply to many other areas and exactly. So, all right, well, let's move on here and talk about travel to Europe this summer. So this is really interesting. So my friends over at Allianz, by the way, which I do work with them rather often, Allianz Travel Insurance. But what I love that they also do is they put a lot of effort behind different studies. And so every summer, they basically do like a vacation consumer index, which we can talk about at some point because it's really fascinating. They find out like how much travelers are spending, where they're going to, what they're all these trends. And the big thing that they just came out with recently is travel to Europe. So there's actually a 34% jump in Americans headed across the pond this summer, as they like to say. Which isn't too much of a surprise. Obviously, Europe is always popular. But not only that, I mean, you also have the Olympics happening in Paris. Wait, there's something else that's happening too.
The Olympics is a big one. I don't know if there's not any World Cup this year. I don't know if there's any big soccer tournaments going on.
Yeah, I feel like there was some other sporting event. And then obviously you also have like Taylor Swift is still going throughout Europe. You've got other big concerts that are going on. So with all of these other reasons, as if anybody needed another reason to travel to Europe, we have all these great reasons, which is pretty neat to see. So
I think it's great.
Did you happen to see this list? So the number one city that they've got for this summer. Oh, I'm looking at the old list here. Oh yeah. No, the number one city that they have which has been number one. Did you see what it was?
I see 2 and 3. Give me the number one. What was number one out there?
So number one is London, London, England.
Never been. I'd love to go.
Wait, what? Pump the brakes.
I've never been to London. Yeah, I've been to Paris. I haven't been. That's number 2 on the list.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Dublin, which I think would be awesome too.
You've got Rome
Barcelona, I've been
5. Yeah, Barcelona. And then I love that they've got Nice in France is number 10, which is that was actually pretty neat because I think it's been, gosh, for the first time since 2015. So they've been doing this since 2015. Nice in France has finally debuted in the top 10.
I like it. I wonder if that's from Emily in Paris because she was always hanging out there on that show. So I think it drew a lot of people watching. Right, everyone going. The new season's coming out, and how do I know that? Because my wife loves the show. Me too.
Okay. I have to say,
and we got Jim coming in here. Rugby championship in France. That's a big one. I wish rugby was a little bigger in the U.S. And London is a must, and definitely a side trip to Dublin.
Yeah,
and Wolf saying the same thing.
I mean, these are great. I mean, wow. So because of Nice coming in, Barcelona went back to number 8, so they kind of got bumped up. Milan has been bumped off the list, as well as Lisbon, Portugal has been bumped off the list. So interesting to see like how it ends up being like a whole.
Yeah, I'm curious to see like what shapes out. Like Barry Sternlicht was on CNBC, I think yesterday. I was watching it. And he's
Yeah.
saying he's a little worried about travel because he saw Starbucks, came out really low in their earnings. McDonald's came out really low in their earnings. They're starting to see Disney get a little bit less at their parks. So I'm curious to see what will happen this summer and which will be the hotspot that floods our Instagram feeds.
Well, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and luxury is continuing to boom. So yes, we might see some of the obviously it's like you can't just have the luxury market just completely lead everything else, but it is definitely, if you are in a luxury market, people are still spending money, and that's a product that they're going for and an experience that they're going for. So that's always a good thing. But yeah, I mean, it everything in life is a bit more, um, people are just trying to make sure that they're spending money on the right things,
Yeah.
or maybe they're swapping their lattes at Starbucks for a trip to Positano. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I would give up some lattes at Starbucks if I knew that I was saving up for Positano.
I think also they're buying some Biscayne coffee. I see some sales coming through from some of those people.
That's exactly what they're doing. Supporting smaller businesses and then just saving up for those longer trips. I don't know. There's some interesting we're seeing some interesting things, but I always love seeing this list just because I'm just fascinated by numbers, rankings, all of that. And by the way, I have two clients of mine that I'm currently in the middle of planning Europe travel for them. So I've got one that's going to be going to Paris as well as London. Makes sense on the list. And then I've got another one that we're going to be doing. This is such a fun itinerary. Lake Como, then the Amalfi Coast, and then Douro Valley in Portugal. So
hold on. Is George Clooney your client? Is that who you're booking for?
I'm just saying, I got things going on in the background.
Okay. I like
Although
it.
George Clooney's house is, I think, like right over there.
Well, Jim's saying mid-level market a bit soft, but luxury leisure is strong this summer. And Lonnie's saying Canada is a hot market.
Yes.
Canada, I like going to Canada too. I need to spend some more time the other side of the border.
Totally. Canada's awesome. Oh, I love this. Jim's comment. Steve, you've got to serve Biscayne coffee on Aer Lingus, Miami, and Orlando flights. It's a natural fit.
Listen, you get me in contact. We'll get him on there.
Yeah, make that happen. That'd be kind of dope.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Talking about dope. What's our next title? What do we got going on here?
Oh my God. I've been waiting for this since like yesterday. The Nude Cruise.
The what?
Okay.
Can you say that one more time?
A nude cruise.
Oh my God.
It's a naked cruise. Okay. So basically, Nude Cruise. I got questions. We're going to get to those questions.
I have a lot.
Okay. Oh my God. So Nude Cruise is set to set sail from Florida next year, and they've got a couple itineraries. They have two different ones that are going to be happening. So it's the big nude boat cruise, quote unquote, allowing passengers to bear it all. Yes, even at the buffet. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Woo! Okay, so this is going to be an 11-day adventure to the Caribbean. It's set for the first 2 weeks of February on Norwegian Pearl. Big fan of Norwegian Cruise Lines. Interesting that they are going to be doing this. And bare necessities. Oh, what were you going to say?
Say their itinerary. They're going to be making nude stops at the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, St. Martin, Dominica, and St. Lucia. And it's $2,000 per person starting out on the inside cabin, which is not bad actually for an 11-day cruise. And it goes as high as $33,000 for the top room on the ship, the Haven 3-bedroom garden villa.
I do like the Haven suites. Like that's worth it. Yeah, amazing.
So let's go through some questions we have here. Okay, what questions do you have? Because I have a couple.
Well, wait, no. What I loved in the article, they also talked about like
rules.
Etiquette.
Yeah, give us the etiquette. What did it
say?
So
wait. So the etiquette was like, so basically, you have to, if you're going to be laying out on a lounge chair, you have to put the towel down. Like you can't just be laying naked if you're going to sit down. Like you have to have a towel down, which is nice. And they also say, always remember to pack a swimsuit because not all excursions are clothing optional.
Right. On the cruise, you're good to be naked, but on the shore, You got to be careful.
In the buffet line.
I know it's a little
Do you
crazy.
still put a napkin on your lap if you're sitting there
I think
naked
so.
eating?
Yeah, you don't want to get your
Ketchup?
areas, drop some ketchup on there and whatever else is going on. But here's what I wonder.
Okay, what's your questions? Because we have different questions,
I have a
obviously.
statement and then a question.
Okay.
Usually, so I worked at a hotel, Viceroy,
Yeah.
and we didn't I don't think the sales team realized what they booked, but it happened to turn into like a nudist swingers party at the nightclub. And it
Oh,
was like
that's
the people
funny.
you don't want to see naked are there. And so that's
Always.
usually what this is with the
Correct.
nudist. So before everyone gets out there excited and booking your tickets, okay, I want to see in the comments if you would go on this or not. Just know that. And the second part is, how do you pick the staff that's going to be on here? Right? Because like you may not want to be serving these naked people floating around in the pool and around the buffet and being like,
I think that's a good question. I think it's the staff. You already have the staff, and you basically let the. By the way, for everybody in the background, we got Will Slickers said
he
he's
said he
going to
bought his
buy.
ticket already. He was already on. He needs a roommate. He said.
Need a oh my god, stop. So I think what this is how I would do it is that you let the team know that this is what's going to be happening, and then you give them the opportunity to stay on or not. Because I think that there might be, because when you think about how international the staff is on a cruise ship, you might have some individuals that would be highly uncomfortable with it, and then you have others that might be totally fine. But I think that that's probably the best approach, right?
Yeah. Wear sunglasses when serving. That is a
Yes.
key rule, especially me working the pool decks of South Beach on the
Keep your eyes
beaches.
up here. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter when you get
very,
sun.
very international, right? A lot of topless people here on Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Um, but this will be interesting to see. A great headline. I'm just amazed that Norwegian was like, yeah, let's do it. Good
Well,
headlines though.
good headlines, and there is a community for it. When I was working with Charisma Hotels and Resorts in Mexico, they did have a property, smaller property, that was specifically designed as it was a nudist destination. Obviously, I did not go in there and film,
Mhm.
but yeah,
What were
there
you
are.
doing there, Sarah?
Well, I just went by the entrance. I wasn't invited. I swear. I told you it was me with a camera crew. Like, I'm not gonna be like,
Uh-huh.
"Hey,
All
let's
right.
come
I see
on
what's
in."
going on.
I
You
was
and
working
Will
on my
walking
tan
around the
lines, all right?
nude cruise.
Fine, Steve, you got me. I was working on my tan lines. No, but but there's a market for it, and it's interesting because it is a little bit more of a skewed older market. Boomers, they tend to spend, and it's like it's a whole thing. But if you think about it, after that many days of being nude, or at least being partially nude or nude for a good chunk of the time on a cruise ship, probably by the end, like, you don't even care, even if
After a
you're
couple
working.
hours, I think it's just like whatever. But it's
Yeah.
also too, next time I'm on the Norwegian Pearl, like, I wonder how many naked people sat in this chair.
Oh my God, stop it. Stop it. They had to put down a towel first, okay?
All right, all right, all right. Well, I hope everyone has a great time. It seems like a fun event, and I'm
It's
glad that
always so
all
fun.
the nudists get to enjoy this high seas.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's a cruise for everybody. There
Okay,
really
where do they
is.
keep their wallets?
Oh.
Fanny pack on top of the fanny.
The British fanny or the American fanny? Anyway, that's a different fanny. Anyway, oh my gosh. I don't think that you'll see nude flights in the future. You never
Maybe some
know,
private
Jim.
jets. There might be some private jets flying around right now. That
I
happening.
mean, do you really want to be? That's just like there's a lot of that's a
Yeah,
lot of air.
that's a lot for me.
That is a lot. All right. Well, there you go. Nude cruise. Let us know. Will you be hopping on one, or don't let us know? You can just send us a DM if you don't want to put that out there. Totally understand. Let's go ahead and do our real time recap. You've been around. What have you
I've
seen?
been around, and so I have one. It's not maybe a positive, but something to work on. I
Okay.
was at a hotel recently, so I've been at a lot of them.
Yes, you have. What number
And
are you on with your hotels?
yesterday was number 30, so today heading
Number
to
30.
31. And today's gonna be a
Wow.
cool one. They don't know I'm coming, but I'll say it here. It's the number one rated resort in the country. It's won a bunch of awards. So I'm
Oh,
excited to go
okay.
there.
That's a big deal.
Yep. But I was at this week a hotel walking, doing my filming. You saw me how we do it. We kind of do a little incognito.
Yeah.
and some guy was working from the lobby, and I was shocked. The manager came up to him and said, "Sir, you can't work from here any longer. You haven't purchased anything. This area is for guests only."
Oh,
And I was like, "Wow, like that's." He wasn't doing anything. He was on his laptop. Seemed like a normal-ish guy. I don't know the backstory. Maybe he's been there a bunch of times, but they got into an
maybe.
argument. He started screaming in the lobby,
Oh my
and
God.
it turned into a whole scene. And they ended up
Wow.
security escorting him out. All I was just like, man, I didn't see him doing anything. It caused a big scene for all the other guests that were sitting there. Didn't seem like he was causing an issue. So it got me thinking about like working from hotels. What is the right etiquette? And I think it's
Yeah.
you have to buy something if you want that real estate for the day or hour.
Yeah.
So I guess I kind of understand it, but maybe just another way to do that.
I mean, that's why they were doing the different like day passes, like the pool passes,
Yeah, this was
resort
in the
pass.
lobby though. It was weird. In the lobby, sitting at a table.
There's got to be more to that story because it's like there's no way he was sitting there for 30 minutes and it's like, oh, sir, you have to. It's
It's like,
either
why are you picking on me? Why are you picking on me? So it's interesting. Like I started thinking because I see a lot of people working from lobbies,
yeah, yeah,
going to hotels. So I think my rule is like, don't bring multiple screens. Have a laptop, get a coffee, order
correct.
something, then you can enjoy the space. I think that's what
That's
I would
it.
have done.
But I also look into companies like Resort Pass
Yeah, like
that
resort pass, daycation. There's a bunch where you can
yeah,
buy a day pass, but this was interesting because it's lobby. And I like the pool.
yeah, yeah,
Pool
yeah.
I get. The pool is like this is hotel guest day
Yeah,
pass.
or like
And
the lobby bar, maybe. I
mhm.
don't know. But I just again, it's like just purchase something.
Yeah, so interesting to
Fascinating.
me. But that's what I saw. That was like a one negative, but the best one we covered already. I was gonna go with the F1 race. If you
Mm,
have the chance to go to an F1 race,
that'd be so cool.
this was amazing.
So cool. So
I give the
cool.
shout out to them. Amazing job.
Love that. Well, what's going on? What have I've seen? So I've spoken to a couple of different properties this past week, but I will give a shout out to Clinique La Prairie in Switzerland, which is not only a luxury property, but they also do it's a medical spa as well. And it's amazing. They keep records on everybody that stayed there, all of the details, even if it's over 11 years that
Wow,
they've
that's
got the
awesome.
details and they can say, okay, well, since the last time somebody was here, this is the suite has been updated and this is what the new suite looks like. And these are the different options if they're looking for that. But they could not have been nicer, but it did get me thinking like medical spas in Europe and other parts of the world are very different than they are in the United States. I mean, kind of understandably so, but it is interesting this whole concept of like you can go and have like a checkup and you can do all sorts of different things and just make a luxury experience out of it. But was very, very, very impressed with how wonderful they were and very kind and sweet as they should be. But
Mhm.
it was just a nice touch that they were able to have so many details from so many years back, which was
I love
pretty
that.
awesome. Yeah.
You feel special when you get there again.
Yeah, totally. And somebody's taking notes. So that's always a great thing. So shout out to them. And if you know that property, even cooler.
I gotta check it out
Um
now.
totally. All right. Well, are we ready for our hospitality quotes of the
Let's
day?
let's do it.
All right. You want to read it? Why don't you read
Sure.
it?
Teamwork is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results. And that's
I
from
like
Andrew Carnegie.
that's a good one.
It's very true.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It is true. Look, one person can do a lot, but if you got a lot of great people working on that common goal,
So
you can achieve things that you never thought you would.
so
That's why I
true.
like working in teams and having people around me that
Same.
care and really push each other to be better.
It's also it's understanding your strengths and that like I am so thankful for the team. I actually even just posted this on the story on my social media that I was just taking a step back and looking at the team that I'm working with on some projects recently. And I'm like, I'm so grateful for them because everybody brings a little bit of a different um skill set to the group. And when you have that cool harmony as well, it's amazing what you can do. So just a reminder. And that's also on when people ask me, they because I get asked a lot, what do you miss most about being in hotels? Since I'm not in a hotel behind a desk all the time now, then I always say I miss the team
Yep, me
because
too.
like that, like what we would be able to do together. Attitude is everything. I love that, Jim. That's so true. But yeah, I mean, it's the team is what makes it special.
Yeah, especially teams that hold each other accountable. That's what I like. Like, there are no hard feelings. You do it the right way, but you said you're going to
Yeah.
do this. Let's get it done. Let's make it happen.
Exactly.
And it happens.
Exactly. So
Good quote to end on today.
I know. I think so. I definitely think it is. Teamwork. There's teamwork everywhere. If you look for it, you got teams all around. So, love that quote. What a fun episode today, by the way.
Yeah, we went from lawsuits to nude cruises to who's traveling to Europe. A lot of fun things going on today.
I know, a whole lot of good, cool things. So, yeah, I liked it. So maybe we'll come live from Florida next week again.
Yep.
We'll figure it out. We'll make something happen. That'll be exciting.
I would love to do it. And so if you're watching this, make sure subscribe, hit that button right over here, share this with somebody if you think there was anything valuable that someone else should hear about. We love seeing new viewers and all of you returning. It makes our day every Wednesday.
Exactly. So shout out to everybody. Thank you. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.